Welcome to the Celerity Web Portal overview. Take just a few minutes to talk to you about the improved usability, employee productivity, and data quality that's coming with the Celerity Web Portal. Also talk about easier navigation, some field consolidation that's taking place, and then I'll spend just a few minutes on some additional benefits. Let's first talk about the usability, productivity, and data. So in the 3270 today, this is an example of the officer field on the lower right. So you'll see that typically there's a code value that's required for this field, and users sometimes will look through job aids, so different lists of things that they have on their desk or in different files, and they will have to page through those looking for that value that matches what they're trying to put in. And here I've highlighted that in red, and then once they find that value, they would go and key that into the system. Now another option might be that they believe they know what the value is, and so they try to put that in, and it may or may not be correct. And if it's not correct, that will lead them to an error screen, and then by pressing enter, they enter the help system. And they can go through that help system and again page through tons of irrelevant information until they finally get the page that has the value on it that they want, and they would find that and key it into the field. Look at how this works in the Celerity Web Portal. So here I already have the context of the customer Fred Wilson that I've done via search. You'll see I'm going to the Occupation and Others tab. And here I could do several things. I could key in that value that I already know and get the description back, or I could put in the description or pick it from this drop-down menu. And then once I make that selection, then the code automatically pops in there on the left. So it gives you a couple of different options. You can then pick any code you want and it'll pre-fill the description. You can pick any description you want and it will pre-fill the code. You can type in a different code and get the description back. So lots of flexibility here, and reduced data errors because there's a description there that is validating that you've put in the right code, or you can simply choose the description and not even worry about the code. So let's take a look at easier navigation. So in the 3270 today, the menus are set up where there are page menus that a person must go through. And here we're looking for an officer roles function. We want to see what officers are set up on the account and what roles they have. Page through information until we finally find the page that has the option on it, and you can see there on the right it's number 18. So I'm going to key in 18 and a company ID and then put in the customer's name, and it'll take me to the screen I was looking for. And then if I want to go back and navigate through the menus again, I'm always returned back to the very first menu where I have to page through all those menus again to find a different function. So let's take a look at how that works in the Celerity Web Portal. So here you can see we have tabs that have all your different options on here. So at any point in time, in any process, you can go back to whatever function you want. Here I've gone to officer roles. You can see how quickly the information comes back. And now I'm free to go back into the menu structure anywhere that I want without having to return to the beginning or do something else. And the last thing I want to talk about today is field consolidations. So this is an example of some overdraft information. This is the DD22 screen, which contains a lot of information about overdraft processing. But if you want to get a complete picture of overdrafts, on the DD01 screen, which has the line amount, you'll have to go to the DD08 screen, which has some information about the last action taken and the last date that action was taken. Portal is we have consolidated that information into one screen. So you can see here we're in the deposit system. I've gone to the account, I've clicked on overdraft processing, and so now all overdraft information is together. You can see that overdraft line amount and the overdraft line review date, which were on the DD01 screen, are now here together. Last overdraft action, last overdraft action date were on the DD08 screen, are now here together. And then all of this other information came from the DD22. So you can see it's all been combined in a nice, neat screen where you can go to one place to see all information. Let me talk just a few minutes about some additional benefits with the Celerity Web Portal. One is the Administration can be done by regular users. There aren't any programming changes. There are screens that allow you to administer those users and set up permissions and let people access different parts of the system. It's also more consistent with those other systems in the bank. Most of your other platforms are going to be web-based, which makes it easier to integrate into corporate security and just gives everybody kind of the same look and feel in terms of what they're doing. It's also built with the latest technology, so you have more resource options. The type of people that work on these web technologies are readily available in the market. It can be brought in to support this very easily. Thank you for your time.